D always been the one who showed up. Birthdays, graduations, even the random Sunday brunches my mother insisted were tradition. I'd drive 2 hours from my apartment in Portland, Oregon, to my family's sprawling house in Seattle, arms full of homemade pies or a bottle of Pinot Noir I couldn't really afford. I'd smile, nod, and let my older brother, Ethan, dominate the conversation with his tech startup anecdotes while my parents hung on his every word. I didn't mind, not really. Or at least I'd convinced myself I didn't. I was Claire, the steady one, the one who didn't make waves. But the night of my mother's 60th birthday party, something inside me shifted, like a gear grinding out of alignment. I didn't know it yet, but I was done being the afterthought. Growing up, I learned to fade into the background. Ethan was the star, captain of the debate team valedictorian, the guy who could charm a room without trying. My parents called him gifted, their voices dripping with pride. Me. I was the one who got perfect SAT scores but never brought it up. I was the one who organized the family reunion at 19, who paid for the catering when Ethan's big deal fell through, who stayed up late helping my mom with her community garden project while Ethan was too busy closing a funding round. I didn't resent him, not exactly. I just wanted a moment to be seen, to be more than the one who fixed things when they broke. I moved to Portland 5 years ago, started teaching history at a community college, and built a life I was proud of. Small but mine. I had a 1-bedroom with a balcony where I grew herbs, a book club that met every Thursday, and a cat named Juniper who didn't care if I was gifted or not. But I still made the trek to Seattle for family events, still answered my mom's calls with, "Of course I'll help." When she asked me to plan her 60th birthday dinner at the Hearth, a swanky waterfront restaurant in Seattle, I didn't hesitate. "Claire, you're so good at this stuff," she said, her voice warm but distracted. "Can you handle the deposit? We'll sort it out later." I wired $800 that afternoon, no questions asked. When I asked who was coming, she said, "Oh, just the usual crew. Family, you know." That word, family, used to feel like a promise. I should have known better. The Hearth was all glass and candlelight, the kind of place where the menu listed seasonal inspirations instead of prices. I arrived early as always in a navy dress that hugged my hips a little too tightly and a pair of earrings I'd borrowed from my friend Lila. I carried a small gift for my mom, a leather-bound journal I'd found at a vintage shop, embossed with her initials. The hostess led me to the private room upstairs, where the air smelled of rosemary and expensive wine. I stopped short at the doorway. The table was set for 12, a long stretch of polished oak glowing under Edison bulbs. Every seat was taken. Ethan lounged at the head mid-story, his laugh echoing. My mom sparkled in a silk shawl, her arm linked with my dad's. Aunts, uncles, cousins, all there clinking glasses, passing bread baskets. No one looked up. Then I saw it. A single metal chair tucked against the wall near a service door, next to a tray of half-empty wine glasses and a trash bin that reeked of oysters. Ethan caught my eye, flashed a grin, and waved me over. "Claire, you made it." His voice was loud, performative. "We saved you a spot over there." He gestured to the chair, his smile sharp enough to cut. A few heads turned, but no one said anything. My mom gave a quick, apologetic glance before looking away. My dad didn't even notice. I felt my throat tighten, but I walked to the chair, sat down, and set the gift on the floor. The metal was cold against my thighs, and the service door kept swinging open, letting in bursts of kitchen noise. I told myself it was fine. I'd been here before, hadn't I? Always on the edge, always making it work. The dinner unfolded like a play I wasn't cast in. Ethan gave a toast, his voice smooth as whiskey, talking about Mom's legacy of love. Everyone clapped. My cousin Nora posted a photo of the table on Instagram, all smiles and candlelight with me just out of frame. No one asked if I wanted to order. A waiter set a glass of water in front of me, his eyes skimming past like I was part of the decor. I sipped it slowly, watching my family laugh, reminisce, pass plates. I wondered how many times I'd sat through this, waiting for someone to notice I was there. Then the bill arrived. The waiter, a young guy with a crisp white shirt, approached Ethan first, holding a sleek black folder. Ethan waved him off, pointing toward me. "She's got it," he said, loud enough for the table to hear. The waiter hesitated, then walked over, his steps careful. "Ma'am," he said softly, "the total is $3,275. Should I charge the card on file?" The room went quiet. Forks paused. My mom's eyes flicked to me, then away. Ethan leaned back, smirking. I looked at the waiter, his pen hovering, and something inside me snapped. Not loud but clean, like a wire cut in two. "Not my table," I said, my voice steady. The waiter blinked. "I'm sorry." I smiled just enough to keep it polite. "I paid the deposit. But I was told this table was for the main group. I'm just here for the view." A gasp rippled through the room, maybe Aunt Linda, maybe Nora. Ethan's smirk faltered. "Claire, come on," he said, his tone half laugh, half warning. "Don't make a scene." I stood, my chair scraping the floor. "I'm not. I'm just following the seating chart." My mom's face flushed, but she didn't speak. My dad cleared his throat, muttering, "Claire, you already paid half. Just handle it." That was it. That assumption that just handle it, like I was the family's unpaid assistant. I picked up the gift, my earrings catching the light. "I paid for the deposit, booked this place, and spent my weekend planning it," I said, my voice low but clear. "And for that I got a chair by the trash. So no, I won't be handling the rest." I turned and walked out, the gift still in my hand, the navy dress swishing against my legs. The stairs felt endless, each step a release. Outside, the Seattle rain was a fine mist, cool against my skin. My phone buzzed as I reached my car. Texts from Nora, from my mom, from Ethan. I didn't read them. I drove home, the journal still unopened on the passenger seat, and wondered what would happen when the bill landed back at that table. Would Ethan step up? Would they split it? Or would they just sit there, stunned, realizing I wasn't coming back to fix it? When I got to my apartment, Juniper greeted me with a lazy stretch. I kicked off my shoes, poured a glass of cheap Merlot, and stared at my phone. A voicemail from an unknown number blinked on the screen. I played it. "Claire, it's Sam. Ethan's old roommate? I was at the dinner. You don't know me well, but damn. That was bold. Call me if you want to know what happened after you left." I set the phone down, my heart racing. What did happen? Did Ethan try to spin it? Did my mom cry? Did anyone notice the gift I never got to give? I didn't call back. Not yet. But as I sipped my wine, I realized I'd started something I couldn't undo, and I wasn't sure I wanted to. The story's getting more and more interesting, isn't it? Don't miss out on what happens next. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. Let's see what other challenges await our hero. The morning after Mom's 60th birthday dinner, my phone was a war zone. Notifications piled up like unpaid bills. Texts, voicemails, even a missed call from my dad, which was rare enough to make me pause. I sat on my balcony with Juniper purring in my lap, the Portland skyline hazy under a gray dawn. The journal I'd meant to give Mom sat on the table, still wrapped, its leather edges catching the light. I didn't open the messages right away. Instead, I sipped my coffee, letting the silence settle. For years, I jumped at every ping, ready to fix whatever my family broke. Not today. When I finally unlocked my phone, the family group chat was chaos. "Thin, Claire, that was low. You know I'm stretched thin with the startup. Why make it a spectacle? Mom, sweetheart, please call. We're worried about you. Dad, let's not blow this out of proportion. Come over, we'll talk." Then Nora, my cousin, in a private message. "Claire, I'm so sorry. I should have said something last night. Ethan was out of line." I scrolled past the rest, landing on Sam's voicemail again. His words, "That was bold," echoed in my head. I still didn't call him back. I wasn't ready to hear how my family spun my walkout. Did they laugh it off? Did Ethan charm his way out of the bill? Or did they finally see the chair by the trash for what it was, a neon sign of how they'd treated me? I spent the day teaching, losing myself in lectures about the Civil War, grading papers, and dodging Lila's questions about why I looked like I'd seen a ghost and punched it. By evening, I was back in my apartment, staring at my laptop. The urge to check the family chat gnawed at me, but I resisted. Instead, I opened my banking app. For years, I'd kept a joint account with my parents, a safety net for emergencies. Ethan's car repairs, Mom's last-minute flight to visit her sister, Dad's medical copays. It was always me topping it up. The balance sat at $2,400, money I'd quietly funneled in while they assumed it was theirs to tap. I hovered over the transfer button, then moved every cent to my personal savings and closed the account. The confirmation email felt like cutting a tether. My phone buzzed again. Then I ignored it. Then a text from an unknown number. Claire, it's Sam again. I got your number from Nora. I'm not trying to pry, but you stirred something last night. Can we talk? I stared at the message, my thumb hovering. Sam had been Ethan's college roommate, always on the periphery of our family orbit. I barely knew him, but I remembered his quiet laugh, the way he'd linger at the edges of parties, watching more than talking. Why was he reaching out now? What did he see that I hadn't? I typed a reply, maybe tomorrow. Long day. And hit send before I could overthink it. The next morning, I woke to a voicemail from Ethan, his voice tight with irritation. Claire, closing the account? Really? I needed that for a vendor payment. You're acting like a kid. Call me. I deleted it. Then came an email from Mom, subject line, let's fix this. It was long, full of her usual soft apologies. I didn't realize how that seating arrangement looked. We love you, Claire. Please don't shut us out. No mention of the chair, the bill, or the years of me being their fallback plan. I didn't reply. Dad, I called Sam. Claire, he said, picking up on the first ring. His voice was warm, careful. Glad you called. I leaned against my kitchen counter, juniper weaving between my legs. What happened after I left? I asked, no preamble. He laughed, a short, dry sound. Chaos. Ethan tried to play it off, said you were overreacting. Your mom looked like she'd swallowed glass. Your dad just stared at the bill. Eventually, Nora stepped up, put it on her card. Said it was the least they could do after, you know. I nodded, though he couldn't see me. And Ethan? I asked. Sam paused. He's pissed. Keeps saying you embarrassed him in front of important people. But I saw his face, Claire. He knows he screwed up. I exhaled, my grip loosening on the phone. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Sam hesitated, then said, because I've been where you are. The one who's always there, always fixing things until you realize no one's fixing you. I saw you last night sitting by that damn trash can and it hit me. You're done being invisible. His words landed like stones, heavy and true. I didn't know what to say, so I just thanked him and hung up, my mind spinning. What else had he seen? Did anyone else notice, or was it just him? That afternoon, I got another text from Ethan, this time softer. Claire, I didn't mean to make you feel like that. Can we talk? I'll come to Portland. I didn't respond. Instead, I drove to a cafe downtown, met Lila and a few book club friends, and let their laughter drown out the noise in my head. When I got home, I found a package at my door. No return address, just my name in Mom's careful cursive. Inside was a small photo frame with a picture from my college graduation, one I'd never seen framed before. A note was tucked inside. Claire, I found this in storage. I should have hung it years ago. I'm sorry. I set it on my counter next to the journal I'd never given her. It was something, but not enough. Not yet. The next day, I opened my email and drafted a message to the family group, BCCing Sam and Nora for reasons I couldn't quite name. Subject, Mom's birthday. Hi all, since there's been some confusion, let's clarify. I paid the $800 deposit, coordinated the menu, and spent weeks planning. I got a chair by the trash and was expected to cover a $3,275 bill for a table I wasn't welcome at. I've also closed the joint account, $2 for 100, all mine, used for your emergencies over the years. I'm done paying for spaces that don't include me. If you want to talk, I'm here. But I'm not apologizing for walking away. Claire. I hit send, my pulse steady. Within an hour, replies flooded in. Nora, proud of you. Aunt Linda, I had no idea it was that bad. I'm sorry. Even my dad. Claire, I messed up. Call me. But from Ethan, nothing. And from Mom, just a one-line email. I didn't know it hurt you this much. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. The silence from Ethan was louder than any argument. What was he planning? Would he show up, demanding a fight? Or was he finally seeing what I'd carried all these years? And then there was Sam. Why was he still texting, still watching? I didn't have answers, but for the first time I wasn't afraid of the questions. The days after my email felt like holding my breath. The family group chat, usually a flurry of memes and half-hearted check-ins, went eerily quiet. No forwarded recipes from Aunt Linda. No, let's plan a barbecue from Dad. Just silence, heavy and unfamiliar. I didn't chase it. For the first time, I let it sit like a stone I didn't have to carry. My apartment in Portland became a sanctuary. Juniper napping in a sunbeam, my herbs thriving on the balcony, My evenings filled with book club debates and takeout with Lila. But Ethan's silence gnawed at me. I knew my brother. He didn't let things go. Was he plotting a confrontation, or had my words finally cracked through his armor? And Sam? Why was he still texting, still circling my life like a comet I couldn't quite track? A week later, I got a call from Nora. "Claire," she said, her voice low, "Ethan's been talking. He's telling everyone you're ungrateful, that you're making Mom's birthday about you. But people aren't buying it. Not after your email." I leaned against my kitchen counter, the framed graduation photo Mom sent still untouched beside the journal. "What's he saying exactly?" I asked. Nora hesitated. "He's spinning it like you're jealous, like you've always resented his success. But Aunt Linda shut him down at brunch yesterday. Said it's about time someone called out the Ethan show." I laughed, sharp and involuntary. "And Mom?" "Dad." Nora sighed. "Mom's quiet. Dad's, I don't know. He keeps saying he wants to talk, but he doesn't push." That night, I got another text from Sam. "Hey, you free tomorrow? I'm in Portland for work." I stared at the message, my thumb hovering. Why was he so invested? Was he just curious, or was there something else? I'd head back, sure. Noon at Bean and Leaf. The next day, I walked into the cafe, spotting Sam at a corner table, his dark hair messy, a notebook open in front of him. He looked up, smiled, and waved me over. "You look different," he said as I sat down. "Less weighed down." I raised an eyebrow. "You saw me for 10 minutes at a dinner where I was parked by a trash can." He laughed. "Fair. But I noticed things. Always have." Over coffee, he told me what I'd missed. After Nora paid the bill, Ethan had tried to rally the table, calling my walkout dramatic. But Nora and Aunt Linda pushed back, pointing out the chair, the dismissal, the years of me footing their bills. "Your mom cried," Sam said, stirring his latte. "Not loud but real. Your dad just sat there like he was seeing you for the first time." I sipped my coffee, letting his words settle. "And Ethan?" I asked. Sam's jaw tightened. "He's doubling down. Keep saying you'll come around, that you always do. But I don't think you will you?" I shook my head. "No. I'm done being the one who bends." Sam leaned forward, his voice low. "I left Ethan's circle years ago for the same reason. He takes Claire. Always has. And your family lets him because it's easier than fighting." His words hit like a mirror held too close. I'd always known Ethan was the son they orbited, but hearing it from someone outside the family made it real. "Why do you care?" I asked blunt. He shrugged, a half-smile tugging at his lips. "Because I know what it's like to walk away from people who don't see you. And because you did it with style." I didn't know what to make of him, but his words stayed with me, a spark I couldn't quite name. 2 weeks later, Ethan showed up at my apartment unannounced. I opened the door to find him in a pressed blazer, his startup swagger dialed up. "Claire," he said, leaning against the frame, "we need to talk." I didn't invite him in. "So talk." He blinked, thrown by my tone. "Look, I get it. The dinner was unfortunate. But closing the account? That was petty. I needed that money." I crossed my arms. "For what, Ethan? Another pitch? Another car repair? I've been your bank for years. I'm done." His face hardened. "You're making this personal. We're family." I stepped closer, my voice steady. "Family doesn't seat family by the trash. Family doesn't assume I'll pay for their party while they laugh in my face. You want family? Act like it." He stared at me, his charm cracking. "You've changed," he said finally, almost accusatory. "Yeah," I replied. "I stopped waiting for you to notice me." He left without another word, and I closed the door, my heart pounding but not with fear. With clarity. That night, I hosted my book club, the table crowded with wine glasses and half-eaten pastries. Lila raised a toast to Claire, who's finally claiming her space. I laughed, and for the first time in years it felt weightless. A month later, I got a letter from Dad, handwritten, the ink slightly smudged. "Claire, I've been a lousy father. I let Ethan's light blind me to yours. I didn't see how much you carried for us. I'm sorry. If you're willing, I'd like to start over. No expectations, just you and me. Coffee next week." I read it twice, then set it beside Mom's note and the graduation photo. I didn't cry, but I felt something shift, like a door creaking open. I texted him. "Coffee sounds good. You pick the place." I started therapy not because I was broken, but because I wanted to understand the shape of my own heart. My therapist talked about conditional love, how I'd spent years earning it with silence and sacrifice. She asked what I wanted my life to look like. I didn't have a full answer, but I knew it included saying no without guilt, choosing people who chose me back, and building a table where no one sat by the trash. I booked a solo trip to Asheville, North Carolina, something I delayed for years to attend family events. I walked the Blue Ridge trails, ate peach cobbler at roadside diners, and wrote in a notebook under starlight, listing what I'd stopped doing, paying for others' mistakes, apologizing for my existence, waiting for permission to take up space. One evening, scrolling through my phone, I found a photo from Mom's birthday posted by Nora. The table glowed, all smiles and candlelight, but in the corner, blurred, was me, alone in my navy dress, the journal at my feet. I didn't flinch. That Claire was gone, replaced by someone who didn't beg for a seat. I hosted another dinner party, this time with Sam included, his quiet humor blending with Lila's loud laughter. No one was sidelined. No one paid for more than their share. A final letter arrived from Mom, shorter than the last. Claire, I was wrong to let you feel invisible. I'm learning. If you ever want to talk, I'm here. No strings. I folded it carefully, placing it with the others. I wasn't ready to reply, but I wasn't closing the door either. I opened my laptop and typed a new list. Rules for my table. Rule 1. No one who dims you gets a seat. Rule 2. Love that costs your dignity isn't love. Rule 3. You don't need their table when you've built your own. I closed the laptop, sipped my tea, and felt a quiet victory settle in my bones. I wasn't just free from their expectations. I was home in my own worth, and that was a table no one could take away. Hey everyone. Thanks for tuning into the Revenge Tempest channel. If you love this story, please hit that subscribe button and join our amazing community. Drop a comment below letting us know where you watched us from. Your support keeps us going. Stay tuned for more epic tales.